Hi! Welcome back. Yeah, we're doing this thing again. Yeah, that's a thing. It looks like a dump truck, but it's actually a dinosaur. Trust me on this. Welcome back to Evolution. I've been toying around with this game a lot. I'm reading your comments about this, I guess, dinosaur in essence. And I've been messing around with some settings in the game itself. Now, we did manage to get this guy to begin, I guess, galloping in a way that was pretty smart. Let me just show one at a time. You can see he starts galloping, and that was the original intention I had for this guy. But the brain of what operates this really isn't the best right now, and like you see right here, it's starting to flip out, and it's doing its own thing. Now, Generation 12, obviously, average speed was 1.25 meters a second, which is not the best, but it's continuing to try and improve its traits. Generation 15 is here now, and it's kind of at this point not sure what it wants to do. Now, one thing I showed briefly in my last video was the ability to use the brain. This is basically the brain of what operates this creature. From what I understand, you have one per input, one muscle per output. So more or less, this will decide what the creature does, what flexes, what doesn't, what contracts, so on and so forth. The baby is born, more or less. Now, you can increase the size of these to varying sizes. So if we do 30 and then 30, well, now we have a lot of options within the brain itself. I'm not sure how it works. I'm not sure what fires where and so on and so forth. But I'm assuming that having a neural network like this more or less will cause the creature to learn faster or operate more efficiently. Now, our dinosaur is not the most efficient right now. He is pretty bad, actually, compared to some of the pre-made stock creatures. I wish there was a feature, actually, where you could download user creations like on the Happy Wheels website and then use those, because those are awesome. But this game is, I don't know. I don't know the longevity of the game and if the developer still wants to continue working on it or not. But what I want to do is I want to mess with this brain. I want to see if there is a way. Let me reset it. Now we have 10. Number of layers is going to go to 5, and I'm going to make this 15, 15, and 15. I want to see if this impacts our creature and how it moves now. This should impact the performance as well, which is really bad. But we'll see if this works anyways. Let me see the simulation. Load it. And let's see. On the majority of these guys, oh god, they're freaking out. Oh no, he can't move. He doesn't know what to do. Okay, bye. Oh, hi, welcome back, man. I'm glad you wanted to join us. Yeah, that's great. All right, you're struggling, dude. So it seems like our brain is too advanced. We have too many connections for this guy to try and figure out. Now, I think the best way we can do this is if we start over from scratch, because you guys remember the other ones we've tried, and they didn't really work out the best. Like, I just want to see the difference between having a default neural network, and then we'll move into the, I guess, normal stuff. So this is the default one. He's lifting his leg, doesn't really know what to do. And if we let him evolve enough and learn how to move, well, then it should, in essence, teach it to start moving around. See right here, he's moving all of his legs now. He's learning to contract, and the machine learning is taking hold. I'm going to let this guy evolve for a bit. We'll go through 15 generations, and at the 15th, I'll show you the result, and then we'll change to the neural network and see if that makes it learn even more. So this is generation 15. I did notice in generation 14 up here, this guy started doing his little motions and stuff. Right here at the very end, it's learning now to try and angle its legs more and move faster, more or less. Faster movements for faster directional movement and stuff like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this simple for now, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the neural network, and we are going to double the amount of layers. Now, I'm going to keep it the same right now with the input and then the output, more or less, because the general idea is input, output, input, output. The general idea is right there. We don't have many limbs that need neural network stuff right now. We just need a set number. So what we're going to do is extend the number of these inputs right here. We're going to put it to, so we have 10 as the default. We'll put it to 15 so we have some more. So we have some more room for improvement, and the layers will go to 4 now. So this actually dramatically increases how complex the brain is of this creature. Now we'll work with this and we'll continue from there, but I'm going to load 15 simulations now We're going to see how our spider reacts to its new, I guess, more human-like brain compared to its very primitive brain. So the first trial is going as I expected with the beginning part, but now it's doing some contractions. I'm going to let this guy do his 15 stages of evolution. I just lost a joint, apparently. That's okay. We'll just see what happens. I'll see you at Generation 15. Here we are at Generation 15, and you can see right off the bat it is a major improvement to the ability this guy has. Unfortunately, it does not know that this leg is used for movement as well, and this leg right here is very ineffective. It's kind of just like every now and again it makes contact and it jets you forward a little bit, but the brain itself is definitely learning faster than the other one. This guy is learning. It's just not the type. It's like putting the brain of a monkey inside the skull of a spider, more or less. It's not sure what it has to do for basic movement. It's trying to learn that. Now, what we're going to do is head back. There is a setting I can use right now. Let me just see. I'm going to let this guy progress through some of this, and then we're going to do some more explaining on how this game operates and works to my understanding. Oh, we have a dot right there that we don't need. Okay, let's go. We're going to touch base with some user creations that I found on the website as well. Apparently, you can make your own creation, and then it will be submitted as a GIF if you do that, and if they like it, they will feature it. So this is some of the ones that they actually featured. You have... This guy's not really doing anything effectively except, like, mating, basically. This is just the humping dog. It's not really that effective. There are, however, ones that are pretty efficient at hopping around and climbing stairs, which I'm going to try later in this video, but let's get back to our dinosaur. So this guy's a complete failure. I'm gonna delete this guy because we don't need him anymore. He's just no good. That's it. Sorry, little guy. I'm gonna mess around with this and I will get back to you guys. So I've been messing around with the neural stuff, and I'm just curious. I want to know what happens if you give these things the brain of a human, and I imagine my game is going to crash from this, but this is as advanced as I'm willing to go with it. This is scary. This is scary advanced, so I'm going to go back. Now, this might crash my game, and this is super advanced for this one creature, so we'll see what happens with it. With this one brain, I guess. I'm not expecting anything too serious, but maybe it'll do something. It crashed my game. So I just found something, and it's apparent that when the brain is too advanced for the body and the contracting muscles are too powerful, you kind of just destroy the creature itself. You can see part of it. I think that was an eyebrow or something that flew by the screen. Don't worry about that. He's not in any pain. He doesn't have a nervous system or anything like that. No feelings at all, no nerves. But he might be in a little bit of discomfort comparing it to what's happening here. And unfortunately, we've accidentally made the fastest creation I've ever made. So that's a thing. Oh boy. Let's act like this monstrosity didn't happen. So I'm using a reference right now for the neural network and the brain of this creature. As you can see, I've changed it to have 4 layers and then 3 on 3 for the depth of said layers. Now, I have a creature here that I've made 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5th one for the contractions right here. But it's okay because I think this might give it more opportunity to mess around with its movements and stuff. Now, this won't work for the first iteration, I don't think, but it's a step in the right direction. We have our joints all connected here, and this is for climbing. So hopefully this thing at some point will realize how to climb. It looks like it's doing good right now. It's holding steady, which is good, but we want it to start moving. So I'll let it run its generations through. I might have to lift this section of the body up, actually, so it has more of a pivot and move this over, so then it can actually move a little bit more. The expansion seems to be an issue right now, too, because it's not letting things expand, and this is contracting, stopping this from moving. I'd need to change this around a little bit so it can actually start climbing. I'll let it go through some evolution. I'll see if it does pick up where it should be, because it is latching onto the stairs, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, I've actually changed the neural network of this Roo a little bit just to see if I could make it jump more effectively. Now, it is going through its iterations now of generations, so hopefully at some point it's going to learn to start running forwards. And I want to see if this thing will even jump higher now that it has a better neural network and a better brain, more or less, facilitating the growth of this creature's evolution. You can see right now it is starting to jump more effectively, but it's still got some trouble in the back end. Now, what I've done is effectively I've changed the neural network so we have a lot of connections going in from the input, and then I added another tier with, it has very few basically. It's like 5 going into 10, going into 3, going into 1 point as the output more or less. So the end result is the muscles contracting more frequently, and then I guess more or less they expand and contract at different rates rather than having them all randomly contract and expand. You can see right off the bat, the majority of them are expanding more frequently than they are contracting, and that's necessary. Now, some of these in here are contracting at the same time, but that's necessary for this thing to move its bottom portion so it can actually start moving. I'm going to let this kangaroo go through a bunch of generations, and I'm going to see what happens to it, but it does seem like it is learning fairly fast. Hopefully it stops flicking its ear around. Now, here we are at generation 32, and fortunately, this guy has learned that to bounce, you need to expand and contract certain muscles at certain times. Now he's going to start doing longer strides. And you're going to make me eat my words, aren't you? Thanks for that, man. I really liked sounding smart for a second there. But no, the general idea is there now. Neural networks definitely have a dramatic impact on the game, but you have to be super careful because you don't want to give a dung beetle the brain of a gazelle, because it's not going to be a good time. A kangaroo should have a kangaroo's brain, so think about that before you start messing around with the neural network. I haven't done too much with it, but from what I'm seeing right now, you can improve its intelligence based off of the neural network, but it's a little bit difficult to get it down path because it gets advanced really fast, and then some of these neural networks will branch out and go into different directions you don't want it to. And then obviously if you change the neural network to what I've done right here, right now, which is basically as basic as it gets, a 4x2x1, where you have 4 layers and then 2 that can divide off into 1 and then 1. Well, obviously you come into a standstill section where this guy really doesn't want to do much. He's just kind of standing here, minding his own business, but it does get more advanced. I want to know what you guys think down in the comment section of this video. Let me know your thoughts. I'm interested to hear back from you, and let me know if you think I should try something else. I really want to see user creations in this game, so if the dev ever sees this video, hey man, you should definitely do that. Thanks. I just want to make a final note here that I've been thinking about this while editing, and I came to a conclusion that also with the neural network, you need to keep in mind that if I put 20, well, then obviously you have 20 different directions right here you can go through for your input, and then your input comes to one conclusion on the output. But if you make a number of layers, so let's say 5, and then you do, let's say 5, 5, and then 5. You now have a number of possibilities that this thing can come to. If you only have 1, and then you have maybe 1 right here, it'll go into the input will branch out into these and be like, hey, there's some options right here. We'll just follow this linear path right here and go down here. But if you change this to the value 2, well, then obviously it has more room for AI learning. It can go in this direction right here and say, hey, this is the conclusion to make this right here move forwards. It's working right. And then it will try option B, which will bring it down to this node. So maybe this right here will have this muscle, and then this muscle interact and contract and expand and stuff. And then that will cause it to have a different outcome, and it will try different paths. You effectively give it more paths and more ways to trial and error its system. And then if it can't come to a conclusion here, or some of this is right, and it realizes, hey, this is moving forward, but some things are issues, well, then you can actually move into this one right here, give it 5, and it has more outcomes then to choose from. So let's say this contracts this right here, and then it continues on, and then it continues contracting through, I don't know, up right here. So now it's got a joint right here where it's pulling this up, pushing this down, so then it makes it go straight forwards. That's a good solution. However, if it does this one right here, which contracts this one right here, obviously, and then, you know, you move into this one and it decides to branch up right here, and it contracts like, I don't know, an ear forwards or some crap like that. Well, it'll realize, hey, this path right here followed by that path right here wasn't good. Let's try this path right here, and then, you know, let's go down to a node right here. And then it has the possible outcome right there, and then it'll transfer into the actual movement at the end of the chain. It's looking for, if I could highlight them, it would be green, 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 green is good to go. Green, red, no, green, red, no, green, green, red, no, green, green, and then green, and then keep on going, so on and so forth until it finds the direction it needs to go. That's the way that I've digested this to make it into a more legible creature. Now, obviously, on this neural network, I don't expect this guy to perform at all. He's probably, he doesn't even know what to do because there's so many options and there's so many muscles that are now being told to contract and expand at once. It doesn't know what to do. The good thing about this is the generations basically mean that neural network we saw a couple minutes ago, basically that's it going through iterations of what works and what doesn't to make it go forwards. Unfortunately, if it does tip like it did in this scenario, well, then it will no longer allow it to keep moving, and it will basically think, well, this is a movement in the right direction because we had insert number of average speed here and how far we actually made it. So let's keep on iterating this. So we'll keep tipping instead of saying, hey, maybe we should stay on our feet and try to make the feet operate. It'll tip its entire body mass instead and say, hey, let's just keep doing this because it's moved us a little bit and we'll try and learn now and move forwards. And now odds are this thing will start trying to learn to use its ears to move it forward and the tippy toes as well. And then its spine is going to start getting deformed and so on and so forth. And like, it's not going to happen over the course of like 2 generations. This would probably take 100 generations for it to realize, let's try and use the ears a bit more, if it can, because you got to realize that there is only so many options it has. And if it falls forward and then it tries to use that, I guess, the wrong motion you want it to do, it's not going to be able to go past that because no matter what, it's going to reach a red fiber no matter what that won't let it do what it needs to do. I feel like Bill Nye at this point trying to explain movement. And I suck at movement because I'm a very clumsy person in general. Actually, what is this one, the Hailer? What does this do? I'd have to put this back to its primitive brain just to actually get a accurate representation of what this creature was supposed to do initially. Let me just see. Yeah, I think this is the one that just like has a spasm and starts moving and stuff. That makes sense for that. Guys, definitely let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section about what you've seen in this video and what you think I can do to improve these creations. I want to try and make something advanced because, like, I love games like this where you have to use common sense mixed... I don't have much common sense, but common sense mixed with, you know, reality and what you think would have to happen for something to do something. It's like problem solving to a whole new degree. Like, if I put this up right here, it's probably just gonna... It's like, you have to be logical about it. You can't just, like, I'm gonna do this right here and then give it a bunch of random muscles. What would happen if I did this? Because, like, this is a monstrosity at this point if I do that. Oh, my God. Hang on. Let me just move a muscle up right here because this thing's completely broken now. What happens? Oh, my God. Holy crap. Dude, that is so not healthy. Look at that. And it doesn't know what to do. See, it just has no idea what to do. Guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Really? That's actually working? I mean, it's working in the opposite direction of where I want it to go, but like, if I reverse the design, maybe it would learn to flip its body around and be like a single-celled organism trying to learn how to move. Oh God, look at that one. Wow. Damn, that's crazy. Wow, dude, this is... I love this game. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Please add a user creation thing, and I will, oh my God, see you in the next video.